The district is looking at making a change that we will no longer save on our network, meaning like the ES Common or your H drive, and instead we'll save everything up on Google Drive. So today we're going to look at how you can transfer things from our network drive onto Google Drive. So to start with, I'm going to go to this world here on my dock, and I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to see what is saved on what was formerly called the H drive. Now, when you select that, it may ask you for your password, which is simply the same password as your computer, and you can type that in and it'll open it up for you. Now, for some reason, if it doesn't allow you to log in, try restarting your computer. And remember, when you're logging in, take your time, and there's a little red dot by your login initials. Wait for that to disappear before you log in. So what I want to do is look through my H drive and figure out what I still need, and I want to transfer that to Google Drive. Now, a few of our newer staff may not be as familiar with this. You may have never saved on the network before because you save everything on your computer or you already save on Google Drive. I would like you to kind of pay attention to what's going on in case there are things here from a predecessor that you may want to have access to. So before I actually transfer any files, I'm going to go to my Google Drive and make sure you're in your school Google Drive account. And I'm going to create a new folder to put this information in. So I'm going to go to New in the corner and choose Folder. And you can give it whatever name you want. I'm going to use H drive. It could maybe be Network Drive, whatever you wanted that to be, just so you know that where you're pulling this from. So this puts it in alphabetical order, and I'm going to double click on it to open it up. And I have this brand new folder where I can locate information. So now I'm going to go back to my Finder, and my H drive is still showing up here. And what I'll do is I'll look through, and when I see a folder or a file that I want to save, I'm simply going to drag it. So I see this one here that says Freshman Science Project. I'm going to select it and then drag it into my Google Drive. And when I let go, it's going to start uploading that item. A couple of things for you to just kind of pay attention to, depending upon which view you are in up here. For example, if I change to this view here, the top, when I click on a folder, it's going to show me what's inside the folder, and it kind of does a progression going across. If I go back to the view that I was in, I'm going to see a folder, and it's going to have a drop-down triangle next to it. And when I click that drop-down triangle, it's going to show me the files underneath it for that particular folder. Now, if I come across a folder that I no longer need, don't have any use for it anymore, I can delete it. And a quick way to do that, if I select it and do a two-finger click, which is like a right click, I can choose Move to Trash, and it will go into the trash for me. Also, a little tech tip for you. If you aren't sure what a file is and you don't want to open it up to see what it is, to see if you need to save it or not, if you select the file and then you press your space bar, it will give you a preview of that file without actually having to open it. So then I can decide, hey, do I need to keep this? Or if I really wanted to, I can open it with a piece of software and make changes to it. But in this case, I just want to know what it is, so if I know I want to keep it or not. Another place where you may have things saved on our network that you want to save is in our Common folder. So I'm going to close this, and you can see that this folder has been uploaded now. And I'm going to go to my upper left-hand corner. I want to click on this background. So I'm going to click on it so I get the word Finder up here. And then I'm going to select Go. And the very last one says Connect to Server. When I do that, I want to be able to look for the ES Common. Now, for some of you, you may see that already typed in, and you just click Connect, and it will connect for you. For those of you who don't see this on here, you'll need to enter that in. Now, if you don't happen to get all of this transfer done at one time, you may want to type it in, click on the plus sign, and that will drop it down below, so the next time you need it, you don't have to retype it. So I'm going to connect to the Common folder. Now, as I said before, this may require you to type in your password. Now, if you come across some files in here that have a red circle, That means that you don't have access to it, and so don't worry about it and just ignore any folders that you don't have access to. Probably the one that you're going to want to deal with the most is your teacher share. And so when you open up the teacher share folder, you will want to see if there are things in there that you want to save. The elementary school had in the past done a great job of creating a folder for each grade and keeping that as a place where they could store documents that other people on the team would need. What I would recommend, if you haven't already done this, create a team drive for your grade level and take anything you need from here and drag it into your team drive, just like I showed you how you do it in your own personal drive. If, however, there was something specific in one of these folders that was yours and didn't pertain to your team, you could put it directly into your own Google Drive. Keep in mind that some things in here might be really, really old, and if they don't pertain to you, don't take it upon yourself to delete it. Only delete things that relate to you specifically, or you've discussed it with your team and your team is okay with you deleting that. I'm going to go back, and another place that you may want to check out to see if there's anything of value in it is this student resources. In the past, before our current devices, when we wanted to give information to students to maybe open up when they went to the lab, we would put it in the student resources folder, and then students would have access to it and they could open it up. So you might have things in here from your particular grade, and if you want to keep them, you can go and pull them out of here, drag them into your drive, just like I had shown you in the past. If you feel like you need a little help with this process, please don't be afraid to ask.